So Yogesh, and welcome back. Oh, thank you. How was the trip? Yeah, it's feeling good. We know that you're traveling again. Yeah, it's need to grow a company for the sales and business development effort and the exhibitions. I keep traveling frequently, probably 6 to 8 months a year. So why don't we start by telling our viewers who is Yogesh? Who is Yogesh Desai? Uh, a common middleman from India who started his own company after 17 years once he got saturated. You worked 17 years before starting the company. So got a saturation in the job. Salary was good, but nothing was a personal growth, no challenges. So, and there was a lot of health issue with the stress going on in the company. Minor stress, nothing major. And you expect that being the India operations head. And then started a company with me and my wife in 2013 on the Shira festival on 22nd October. And from here, it's about 11 years now, we'll be completing in next month or so. So, yeah, what 30 years? Yeah, almost 30 years. If you count my internship and other things during the post graduation period. How does that feel? Just a very candid conversation. I mean, we have seen people who quit in 5 years, 6 years, saying, yeah, I'm ready to quit as well. So I'm at the retirement age. It feels like after working 30 years in the current scenario. Yes. It's only the thing is, company has to grow to a certain level. That's the ambition, still remains. Ambition unfulfilled. That's how the things are. So let's go back to your early days. What have you done? So early days in life or early days in life, and then we go to PrimaVerse. Okay. So early days is it was very normal life, which normal Indians are. A middle income family where dad was working for a government organization, mom was a housewife. We were working in government, so we traveled all over the state from Ratnagiri to Nagpur to Pune, and finally we settled down in Pune since 1985. My education also was from Ratnagiri, then moved to the Nagpur, then Satara Saini School, which was a hostel from 6 to 12 standard. And then 12th, I came down to Pune, and then my graduation and post graduation happened in Pune. So always loved Pune, I must assume. Oh, absolutely. I'm a hardcore Pune. Given a chance between Pune and Bombay, we want to stay in Pune or go to Bombay? Oh, hands down in Pune. It's no question asked. I got a job in Bombay in 1998. I like to take big advance in game, but I cannot leave Bombay. They're too fast. Maybe too fast. Maybe that is good, but only thing you try to over the time today is better. You get a big city five, but where you can commute with a small city. So it's like a working in a big organization, but your area is more of a smaller company that you can, where your voice is heard, where you can run. You're an entrepreneur in your own company, sort of bigger company. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Is it the same reason why Pune is getting crowded by? See, I'll tell you frankly, I've traveled all over the world. So each country has a best city to live in. And wherever people live, they say that is the best city to live in. But like in Australia, Melbourne is the best city to live in. Right? Yesterday I was reading the news that Tampa, Florida is the best desirable city to live in US, not any California or Washington DC or not New York either. So similarly, if you look at India from the weather point of view, facilities point of view, educational point of view, and opportunities point of view, and still connecting to Mumbai, which is financial capital, by 100 miles or 160 kilometers, it's a main hub, central located. So in my feeling, it's the best to live in India by distance. It's a lot of sense. So talking about PrimaVerse, every startup has its own challenges. First couple of years they struggle. How have your early days been? Because what I've interacted with others who know you, I mean, we know a lot of Mishra people, they say that PrimaVerse has never seen lost days. It's always been profitable. One, I want to know how. Second, how did these early days look like? So, first thing is, this is not true that we did not have losses. We had a losses for first 6 months. But first 6 months, you can expect the losses. So because we started in November 23rd and you have a financial year closing on 31st of March, you will have a losses. Because you get it settled, you get the people coming, money get times to flow down, but expenses has to be done. So losses would be there, but that's okay. That's probably your books losses, not the actual losses. And after that, yes, barring that first 6 months, will never be any losses. So this has come from, I was running the show for 3-4 companies in Pune before I joined. So I know what the financial management operation looks like. Not the compliance part, but I know what the cash flow should look like. So based on that, yes, we were profitable. But at the same time, you have to make compromises. You have to remain profitable. You're not to take the same salary as you're getting in the job. As a founder, you have to take the lesser salary and other things. So that compromises has to be made. But yes, that's a part and parcel of being an entrepreneur.
And what I also realize, I mean, a lot of people tell me at my age, family stands strong.
Yes, absolutely. Specifically in India, in Western countries, that might be not the case because kids leave the house after age of 17, 18 and they grow on their own, become independent and they build their own things. But in India, yes, we have a culture that family supports a lot. In my case, when we were struggling for first 3, 4, 5 months, wife supported it financially, mentally giving support, and other people as well, all family members included. We were struggling, but we were making money that we can survive. So the family support to start is very important. Start a company. And in our case, if I go back a step behind, where we come from is more of a job-oriented culture in the house. So I'm the first entrepreneur of my family. Here are a lot of hesitation. Why do I leave a job? It's good to have a constant income. But it's a risk that I took. And it paid off over the 11 years. I won't say immediately, it paid off over 11 years.
That's a critical insight.
Yeah.
So do you think people should get married soon?
Get
Married soon?
It depends. I got married at young age, 25. If you have a understanding spouse, why not? It is better to share the success with someone you love, someone who understands. And it's better to grow together. So getting married is a good thing, but don't get married for being successful. Okay, get married so that you become both successful, going together and working together. It's not one way at all. Or if you have to become a successful after getting married a rich person's daughter or boy, then it becomes easier to get married.
But does that happen?
I don't know. I never experienced. Probably not in my this life. Probably next time.
Talking about your early days, you also think that your early childhood has played a crucial role.
Yes, to a certain extent, being a discipline, being studious, being how to implement the things. So this factor came into the picture. So it was always brought up culture with the dad, with the family, with the discipline. You study hard. You being in the hostel from the 6th standard, become independent. You take a calculated risk. So this all paid off over time. So Sainik School helped us to become independent much sooner than a lot of people do it when they stay. So it helped. Yeah. The growing up in the environment that I was into, I had grown surely helped.
I remember my first walking into your office, the first thing that I could witness is your core values that we call rapping. Can you tell me something about this?
Yeah, each company should have some values that their company is based on. So company culture will change as you grow. You cannot control because you cannot meet each and every person over time with different background, different people and other things. But at the same time, we need to bring out certain fundamentals that we will not compromise. So if you look at And we wanted some sort of a short form to remember our value because a lot of people forget their value. So we did rapid, R start for reliability, A for accountability, T for sincere, passionate about the work, I for innovation, and D for most important. If you want to succeed in about these, you need to be disciplined in life as well.
I mean, I'll absolutely take your word for it. Plus, I believe you'll build PrimaVerse not just once, but a lot of times.
Oh, absolutely. Probably. See, in startup, we have different challenges. So people come here, learn, and then in startup, we learn most. In any start, not in the PrimaVerse. Because you wear multiple hats, you get a lot of exposure and other things. And then the big fish eats small fish. A lot of people went to the bigger companies. Nobody left because PrimaVerse was bad. Right? Nobody says that. May I have not heard. There is some cases, but at least a lot of people left for the better opportunity, which I am happy with. But that is the major challenge. And when your experienced person left, you have to be built. So probably in the last years, probably a couple of times, additional to what currently I am questions.
But do you think it was a challenge to rebuild?
Once you do it first time, second time becomes easy. First time is a challenge. Okay? Because it is unexpected. People will leave. You won't expect, treat well, you think that they will stay. But after some time, you accept that they will leave. Then it becomes easier later. And you plan for it. It doesn't become difficult later.
So over the longer run, what I have also, I mean, I've been talking to a lot of our colleagues within PrimaVerse, and Vigas is one of them. So we discuss a lot about PrimaVerse. I mean, the initial base, the current base, the way we rebuilt it. What we did a couple of mass interviews. So what shocked us was after the first mass drive, we started seeing YouTube videos how to crack PrimaVerse.
Probably that means we are growing. One, we take a good people. That's what another thing. And our interview process is very stringent. I would not, it has to be taken with a pinch of salt that people want to come to PrimaVerse because I can tell you that what you learn at PrimaVerse, it's still PrimaVerse pays you money for learning. You will not get anywhere even if you pay the money and go there. And I'm talking about anywhere in Maharashtra, little in Pune, or probably anywhere in India, the work that we have. So we get a live projects. We do a lot of people have to work 12 hours a day for 6 months. And it's not easy at times. If you are easy, then it's not for you. I'm pretty clear. We demand everything.
Do you see a transition that has happened in generations? Like you talk about Gen Z, the millennials.
Yes. So a lot of people complained about still the lesser salary paid by bigger organizations. I have seen all these transitions when I started my 2001 to 3, we were working in the company with a mere salary with civil engineer thing. The IT is to get about let's say 25,000 or 30,000 starting salary. And still they get the same salary. So I was in the city why it is. And when I look at it in my company, if you try to do the same quality of people or same amount of work people doing at that stage, probably you have people minimum. So the level has gone down, and I don't blame this generation of kids. There are two reasons education has become easy, specifically after COVID. And second thing is funds availability, and third thing is technology. If you have the tools, why to learn?
So Yogesh, last couple of days we were discussing about an ad by an IT company, MNC again, big name. We saw, I think it was 2.5 LPA as the salary, and it's been there since the last 6 years, and it's not grown. While the supply is in surplus, I believe there is demand as well. But why has this salary not gone?
So I think after COVID, there is a salary they give a lot of bonus. What I feel, a lot of IT companies, not only that company. However, they must have realized the people are public that they are coming, the employees are not up to the standard. They have to put in a lot of effort in training, or they have to put the multiple people. So they have realized over time. And now company is going to correct it over time when you are in tough financial situations. It's the employers market right now. 2021, 22, it was employees market. People have got the salary. But having said that, they must have done their valuation because there was a lot of attrition in IT. They don't want to lose many people. But when they take that such a bold decision in any IT company, they will value that, saying that oh, something is wrong with the hiring method. You still get 10,000 people for a walking for it. So there are people who want to do a job. And if you're not hiring, don't do a job. It's not. If you're getting a better opportunity, it's no one is going to say if you're getting whether it is a big MNC or the big MNC in the world, nobody is going to care if it's getting more paid somewhere. It's finally depends on how much value you add to the company.
So what have the initial challenges been? I mean, we're discussing this, and the reason I was putting all of these together is I've also heard when we spoke the last time that when you join PrimaVerse, no one has to sleep until you're no one has to sleep on it. They should have food, shelter, and airports.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're not that bad either. And we don't have that much office space that we can accommodate people to sleep as well. But frankly speaking, 10, 12 hours is minimum effort required at times. It's not that we do rocket science, but type of work that we do is not done in India, locally. So we don't get experienced people, not from any MNC either. MNC takes our people for our experience, but not the vice versa. So instead of that, what we do is we get a patient. We give them trained on this and bring it to the level that our Western clients can happy with, work with. And that is the reason we thought about it. Oh, we can, people need to gain a lot of help. And a lot of people give up in the first 3, 6 months. And once they cross their 6 months, they reach the independent level, they're more than happy to work with because they know they can finish the work in probably 80% of the time, what is required. And when those are checking out, they plan their work very nice. You need to have patience. And it's any industry, any company. But big companies may have that bandwidth of even if you don't work, it's fine. You being a small company with 50 to 100 employees right now, and 50 people, that bandwidth we did not have. So it's a challenge, but that's what we're getting to the smaller companies. And if you accept that challenge, your growth is faster than the MNC because MNC growth is pretty much standardized.
Right. I was also talking to Nilendra CFO yesterday, and apparently we are also seeing some pressures walking by. Then we discussed our initial days when we started to work. And he said that I remember putting about 17 hours or my work time to my article. I was stuck. Then based on this growth so far, that has paid off.
Yeah, I mean, like I started my engineering company. And we are from the same generation. So we have done so much hours together. I mean, like not together, but when we started. So when I started, I used to work for 21 months when I was in Gammon from 9 to 9. So when I resigned, I was supposed to get an NDA. And then I was supposed to travel. And then I did my booking. And then my boss said, you need to be done before you leave the bed. So that days were to be cut short. And I was working till the last day from 9 to 9. Even that was the situation. But when I left that organization, which was 10,000 employees in 99, when one of my bosses said, technical manager, everybody would have gone, is okay, you went is bad because you were doing all the things that anybody required to do. That makes you a satisfaction and that helped me to build my company. I've been doing all the functions.
From this conversation, I would like to talk about a point that I also want you to tell me if it's right or wrong. So it's said that jack of all trades should be not placed at master of one. So basically, you grow horizontally versus you grow vertically. The vertical expert is usually preferred.
Absolutely.
So what's your take on this? Do you also want someone who can be a jack of all trades because you can't be jack of all?
No, ideally, you are right. Vertically, you should be master in one. But you should know basic things of other things. You should not do it ideally and then get it done from the experts. But you should know what to look for and what can be done and what are the implications. So, if I to give my example, I ran as a one-man show until 2022. And now I have a full-fledged team of HR, finance, marketing, other things. Operation was necessary, so we have operation already. We had operation already. But now I realize that a lot of people do a better work than I used to. It was late, but better than never. And I get to learn from the other things. We can bounce off the things to others. They have different views. They can say yes and no. That helps. There is someone to oppose you. Earlier it was, even though we were 50, 60, 70 employees, it was mom and pops. I still got it as mom and pops. But mom and pops is not a bad culture, but we need to have a professional team for each age. But even I used to think that for some of the clients, I do the best work and no one will be able to do that. That myth was broken instantly when people joining probably 6 months or 9 months in the company does the better work than me, and the client is not having any complaint, which is good. So you understand your limitations, do the work and go on.
But we believe that setting up different teams within your organization is help.
Absolutely. You need to have it if you want to grow. If you want to be 10, 20 people, do it yourself. And don't call yourself an entrepreneur. Consultant with some supporting units.
Now that we have known the initial set of what PrimaVerse has been, can you cite one early challenge that you faced?
Early challenge in the first initial years of, let's say, 2 to 3 years. First year, the major challenge was getting a work. We do all our clients based out of US, Canada, Australia. So sitting here and getting a remote work was a challenge. Reaching out to the clients with a limited bandwidth that we have and with a lot of competition that we have. So that was the first challenge. And once you get to a certain level, then getting an employee for a startup was a challenge. So we had both challenges, but employee was okay. I could manage that to a certain extent. Whoever is willing to learn, I can just put it on the board and get the things moving. But my main challenge was getting a work in the initial 3 months, 3 years.
It was tough.
Oh, it was very tough. So that's why we grow from 1 employee to 6 employees. Out of 6 employees, 1 employee was me, so it was only 5 employees.
What change happened that got us to what we are today?
Traveling to US, meeting a personal meeting, doing a personal meetings really helped. References, cross references from existing client help. We have grown our reference business through a reference is probably 50% of our business. Word of mouth. And then meeting and building relationship in US after 2016 as well. So just to give a number from 2016, let's say mid of 2016 to 2020, before COVID, we were 48. We have grown 8 times. Then we reduced in COVID, not due to the work-related issues, but mainly due to the people doesn't want to come to the office. And then we were about 30, 35 in 2021. From there to now, we are about 93. So 93 to 100, that range we are in fluctuating. So that is the growth that we had in the 2 years.
So I have one question. So we are primarily into ESO, engineering services outsourcing. I realize that there are a lot of companies that do a very similar thing. While they might not be able to match to the extent of detail that we have, they still do. And I've also realized that there are certain companies who have gotten out of bigger companies and have also started something. So coming to this, what would be your 5 tips to, let's say, your prospect clients, to our prospect clients, in choosing the right outsourcing vendor?
You put it right. If I do just count the numbers roughly, we might have about 50,000 to lakh companies or individual working on the field, that drafting field is. But that we work in land surveying and land development or the civil engineering work with their subdivision work and planning, and very few companies do. Nothing that we do a rocket science, but at the same time, you need an exposure of traveling to US and follow the US laws, so that we need to know what the rules and regulations is, follow that, because this work is not done in India. There are companies who do a part of work that we do, but it is very partial. What we do is fully the work, and there are very few companies. So, and I got the benefit of early starter in 2003, where there are probably 2-3 companies in the entire India doing this type of work. Now there are many. Some of them are, as you said, started from the big companies, started their own. Then some of them have gone to US, come back. So they have also started. But having said that, the work that we do, engineering services, structural part in civil is common, MEP is common, but the type of work that we do is you don't get it easily, ready-made available people and exposure to doing that thing locally. So it's a bit of challenge. And I can proudly see the survey drawing that we do with the topography and other thing. Nobody does in India to the level that we do. Doing a simple lot 50 by 100 or 50 by 200 single lot is easy. But when you do 100-acre site, 280-acre site with a topo, nobody does that.
Very interesting. So if a prospect has to look at PrimaVerse, what would be your tip?
So I would not put it as a PrimaVerse. If he plans to do outsourcing, first thing, he needs to be invested in the thought process, not only in terms of saving money. Saving money is a byproduct when you outsource. But you need to think it as an extension of your team. And you need to give a time to settle it down over a period of 3 to 4 months. People will make mistakes. Sitting remotely is not the same as sitting differently. But once you learn it over 1 to 2 months, and then in next 2 months you get it to the same speed as you are in US, you will be successful. So a lot of clients, those who have succeeded with us in last 11 years, they started small. They started with 50 to 100 hours a month, and now they have gone to 2,500 to 3,000 hours a month. It takes time. So when even the 40, 50 hours a month, I used to stay late night 2 o'clock to check the drawing they sent, and now we do 2,500 hours for same client, and I don't know what projects are coming. So as clients learns to how to outsource, we learn how to do the work as well. So you treat it as an extension of your team and it will work fine. Give us time to settle down. Don't measure, oh, this is not the first time it's working. Start with simple tasks. Check the caliber. It's not only drafting. Even it is a drafting, it is a more technical work. People should have a technical knowledge of it.
So to sum it up, quality of service, but that's secondary. I think what people would primarily look at is this thought process, that you have to look at PrimaVerse or any of their companies that they choose as an extended arm of their business.
Absolutely. The quality of service in any company will improve over a month or two once you give enough time.
Correct.
But that should have their mindset and that exposure to doing that type of work. And I'm not saying this work is good or that work is bad, but having said that, whatever you're looking for, your needs, you will know it in 15 days or a month that if this is working or not. I can give you examples. There was a client who took my 4.5 hours interview to get my first work. And he was doing with some big company outsourcing. That company should take 3 weeks to deliver a project. And the same project, we should deliver it in 4 days. It is because of the thought process and how it works out. So a lot of people, they go with the advertisement and emails that goes out from India or Philippines and to send the work. That outsourcing fails, and then they come to us for specific services that we provide, which is plus and minus, because once they go into negative, they will not be able to outsource again. But if they give it and we give good experience, oh, they never go away. That's how it works.
So interacting with prospects, they also say that outsourcing has not worked for us. We have burned our hands.
And it is true, because you chose the wrong partner and you are not invested yourself in the outsourcing.
So how do they choose the right partner?
So choosing the right partner, you at least should know the people technical capability, look at the samples, look at the references, what they can provide, and look at the company's history of delivering the work, what they commit. Is anybody ready to meet you in person when you do the work regularly? Look at the where the outsourcing office is located, what is the staff, what is the infrastructure they have, are they freelancers? These are a lot of things that they need to look at before making a decision. And they should make that as a strategic decision, not as a one-off decision. Oh, I need a rush now. We get so many inquiries, we need to do a rush now, but we tell clearly this is not going to work if you are going to do it as a one-off rush now. Give us time to succeed. It will take time.
I think that's how we have built our way in. PrimaVerse has gotten about 200 clients, and
Yes.
it's not easy. I mean, sitting 10,000 miles away, it's absolutely not easy. That's what I have heard in one of your pitches to prospects, that we are sitting 10,000 miles, but we ensure that your work is delivered on or before time. And in my years of experience in work, I've worked at multiple MNCs, I've run startups, I've been a part of startups. I've not seen a founder as diligently involved that he travels to US for no reason.
Oh, you cannot see it's for no reason. So it doesn't mean that company is growing. That's the reason I'm traveling to US for my picnic. But it's for growing business. Apart from growing business, it's a building relationship and giving confidence. If something happens, right, there is a person who can fix this. And that is very important for me. I can lose money. I can say that oh, your work is bad. I can accept that. But for sure, I cannot say that you are not given 100% if people doesn't react to what customers say. I personally go and stand in front of my customers every 3 months and just say what we are doing right, what we are doing wrong, and what we can improve upon. And that's building it. And we have got so many customers who have gone away for whatever reasons, came back and working with us.
I think that's pretty much evident of the last NPS survey that we did. I think only one client gave us 2 on 3. Everyone else was 3 on 3.
Yes, because a lot of clients, when I plan to visit them and say, oh, I'm in town, I want to visit you, they said, Yogesh, we are giving you all the work possible. Why do you waste time? Just go and get the new clients. We are not going anywhere. And I'll tell you frankly, if you deliver good quality, consistent, timely delivery, cost will never come into picture over time. Initially, it starts with cost, but eventually it won't come in the time.
Makes sense. So, Yogesh, I have also spoken to you a lot of times about mentorship. You also had a mentor,
Yes.
and that really helped you grow into a certain shape. And then you've been a mentor to so many people. So, what's your take on mentorship? Because as of today, I see a lot of ads that say that we are going to mentor you, and mentorship has become commercial. Even if you succeed, even if you fail, that's a two-pronged thing that they're playing. So I believe that's not mentorship. Mentorship has a very crucial role in either to pick up, grow, or fail together. What's your take on that?
So you put it right. If you search a mentor or a business coach or business guide on the LinkedIn, you'll get probably 100K or probably 200K people easily, or a million people. But if they're advertising, they're a business coach, which is not bad. That's a profession that they're doing. If you are looking for a mentor, whosoever it is, mentor never charges some money. That's what the Anant Deshpande of Persistent told in one of his lectures. He never looks for a money. Money is a byproduct. So mentorship is something that you see somebody grow and you share your experiences, what went wrong when you ran a business, what went right. And that person should take it from there. Whether he listens it or not, it's up to you. But you are not accountable. You share the experience with full confidence and saying that, oh, do this right and you will be on the right path, and let him follow that. And that's how it should work, ideally.
Very aptly put. So, I mean, we have been under this.
Yeah.
I mean, you are my mentor. You've understood a lot of things about us, and there are a lot of flaws that we also saw. And eventually, we're correcting it, which over the long run I will pay for as mentorship.
Yeah, I'm like frankly speaking, the sharing of marketing knowledge that I got from you in terms of mentoring the other things was much more valuable than other things. It opened my eyes. I never did a marketing since till 2023.
and still we grew. So now ambitions are different. If we do marketing, what we can grow. If we without marketing, if we can reach at this stage, with marketing, how much we can grow. And we are on the right path right now. It seems like we are growing. We grew 50% in the last 6 months.
Wow.
So that's been paying off. So before 5, 8, 10 years, we never used to get an inquiry on website. It's all through meetings, all through visiting personally. Now we get inquiries on website. So everything digital marketing helps. So that's where you come in picture. And if PrimaVerse goes, that's a money that I get paid off. That's the return. You need to understand, I'm a businessman, so I don't do anything for free, but I get the credit for being a mentor with a free thing.
So, personally speaking, what I have also understood is I never used to take risks. After meeting you, I started jumping. I was not walking. Now I'm flying. And it's evident, right? I mean, we have seen our revenue scores going up. It's roughly 3 times than what was about 2 months ago. And I think we are hitting all the right nuts this time.
It's like a drugs, right? Once you get it, like once you hit a revenue of let's say $10,000, $20,000, you don't want to see it below.
That's what is happening.
So we used to hit a revenue, let's say 10 rupees in 2019, 10K, let's say in 2019. Then when we went to 30K, then we went to 50K. Now, let's say all the 11 months are at 50K, and one of the months goes down at 30K, you say you have done a less business. But if you look at back at 2019, you are doing the same business, but your benchmark has gone up. So you need to set a benchmark high. Now, once you go up, you cannot look down. So, and it becomes like, oh, I can achieve this, so why not next month? So you need to learn according to that. And
that's precisely what's happening.
And we have grown probably 2 times or 3 times from 2019 to now in terms of number of employees. But in terms of revenue, we'll be growing about 3 to 4 times. So we have improved on efficiency as well.
When I walk outside our offices, I see that we have a lot of freshers. I mean, 80% or 90% of our team is freshers. Why?
One, we don't get ready-made people, the work that we're doing. So that's a lacuna of being in a niche market. But other than that, the main thing is, if you hire a fresher, you can mold it the way you want. And if it's really good attitude, they do wonders. Wonders, I'm saying. And I've seen in this company, I recruited about 150 to 175 people. Freshers. So now, mostly freshers, barring 10 people who are the directors and senior expertise in finance, marketing. And they have done a wonderful job, done a much more experience. Give them the freedom, give him the support, they'll do a fantastic job with the ownership. Yes, some may not work, but that's a part and parcel of the game. And we come to know who can take a stress in the first 6 months.
So, working about this word stress, I see a lot of younger people saying that we are stressed versus people who have worked their way in, have had a certain set of experience. I've never called the work-life stress.
Work-life stress is a new word after COVID, probably. One, people started a lot of making money in stock market, seeking idol or doing YouTube and other things, other channels of earning, other sources, so which is not wrong. But at the same time, not many are successful that you see on the reels. You can name a few that are successful. And I believe in you need to put in hard work in whatever field you are. Talent has no value if you don't put in a hard work. So best example in the cricket, you can take it as Sachin Tendulkar and Vinod Kambli. Both had the same exposure. Kambli was much more talented than Tendulkar. That's what people say. You can see his condition today and see the Tendulkar where it's pure hard work. There are a lot of under 19 World Cup captain who wins the World Cup for India, but only Kohli succeeded because of the pure determination, hard work, putting up 20 to 4 hours a day in a gym, following a diet non-stop without a cheat day for 6 years. It's not easy. We do a cheat day after every 6 days, right? That's the difference.
Not. So discipline is the key.
Oh, absolutely. Discipline, determination, and success is very important.
So a lot of cricketers also say that spiritualism is what has gotten them success. Do you also believe that there is a thin line of difference between being spiritual and being superstitious?
Yes, you need to be spiritual. There is a superpower somewhere. You have to believe when you are in problem, and you are come into the world. Someone has taken care for you for whatever years you are lived in. But you need to believe that there is a superpower. But you don't need to be superstitious. Or if I do this, then this is adding letters to your name and other things. I don't believe in. But you need to believe in and use it as a guiding tool to perform better.
So I was reading a book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. That's what Kohli would also relate to. I mean, the way he's been doing this, he believed in it. He said that I want to become the best cricketer in the world. I mean, the fittest one. I think that thought embedded in his system. And then once you start believing in something, it starts happening.
Absolutely.
So the kind of experience and exposure you've had with so many companies, and then you really thought that you would start your own. What has been the most emotional factor that made you start your own company?
So after working for 17, 18 years before starting my own company, I was literally stressed out and tired. I was making good money, good position, everything. But frankly speaking, I lost enthusiasm to work more at the same place. So wanted to do it something differently. So we started with a training center for CAD people and other things. That was the intention, not to do the engineering services outsourcing. But eventually, over the year, it went into the engineering services outsourcing. And it took its time. But frankly speaking, the burnout at the previous company doing it same thing for 10 years with no challenges further, same issues. So that was the thing that I wanted to look at and give it a shot before I see it did not work out.
And it's been rewarding, I would say.
Oh, absolutely satisfying. Now I encourage everyone to be an entrepreneur, but at least about you get a 5 to 10 years experience in the corporate field before you start your business. You might get a first client with your contacts, but repeating that is tough. You need exposure, patience, and maturity to handle the situations going forward.
How did you crack your first client?
Now, first client came through references, through the LinkedIn's, and through sending some emails. That's how relationship started. And then initial first 3 years, as I told, it was mainly through the reference and some emailing, but which was very minimal. But other than that, it was mainly the references. But after that, 2016, when I started traveling to US, it was mainly to the exhibitions, traveling, meeting in person. Oh, I do about 20. I take about 18 to 20 flights in probably 3 weeks. When I travel to US to meet with the client, it's one city, one flight every day. But it's always challenging and something new comes up. And when you get a customer and company grows, all your hard work pays off, which is more satisfying.
Very interesting. So there's no substitute to hard work.
Oh, no, absolutely not. How much talent you have, there is no substitute to hard work in any field.
So we've always been discussing this and about the marketing angle of PrimaVerse. Your clients get about 1,000 emails in a week. What is that you do different that you're able to crack these deals?
One is you need a technical and domain expertise. You should speak their language. That's mainly needed. And they should get a confidence that work will be done. Somebody is trusting you sitting 10,000 miles away. You cannot just play with emotions or the trust of anybody person.
Once a client is gone, they
Oh yeah, in Western countries, once gone is gone. Never ever repeats.
And in all these years, have we lost clients?
We lost, I will not say no, but we lost 2 to 3 Some of them lost due to the less work, some of them due to the coordination issues, some of them maybe because of the quality issues. And there is enough competition, so they may get a lesser pricing. You don't know the results, yes, but if I look at the percentage out of 200, probably we lost about, I would say, 5 or 6 clients, which is like 3% or so, which is okay. If they don't have work and they don't send, that's fine.
But then I've also seen that clients have gone and come back.
Oh, absolutely. After COVID, that has happened. I met with a client in 2016 first time. I was emailing back and forth and the things. After visiting 5 times to him, he gave me first dollar of my work in 2018, February, March. It took me 5 visits inside US to go from east to west, west to east, to get the work done and just meet for 1 hour. But it's all worth it. It is about 7th year that we are doing a business with.
7th year.
7th year. Most of my clients are about 5 years plus minimum, barring few that we have acquired recently.
So what I've realized through this conversation is PrimaVerse is equal to Yogesh Desai.
As of now, maybe it is reducing. So probably until 2018-19, if you see that percentage would be probably 90% or 95%. You have come down to 50-60% probably. But still with my technical skills, it is considered. So with help of marketing, branding, we will come over that challenges to be that PrimaVerse separates it from the Yogesh.
But don't you think it's also better at times that a company equates to its founders?
No, I don't think so. Founder has the limitations in the terms of time, money and effort that he can spend alone. And he cannot look into the client if company goes to 200, 400 people. Look at the bigger companies, Google's and Microsoft's and anybody. You recognize by their founder, but that founder doesn't do everything. They cannot do the work for 10,000 employees even they wish to. So company should run on its own name that, okay, you give the work to the Google, it will be done perfect.
That's a very positive point. I was talking to someone at an MNC again, and the concept of retirement that he told me, I am sure you will agree. Retirement is that period of time where you decide to stop working for money. What's your take on this?
I want to stop now, but I don't have enough money. Given a choice. Jokes apart, after a certain amount of wealth, I'll not call it the money, it's sort of wealth, then how much you get is never enough, but it is at no value. So I was looking at a podcast somewhere recently. I think it was in a Nikhil Kamath or somebody. That guest said, if you earn 10 crores or if you earn 5 crores with no debt and everything, rest of the money is useless to you. You can live the same life as person who is living with 500 crores. Maybe you travel by economy class and he travels by a private jet. That's only the difference. But you both travel by a flight. So you can save time. But you have to have a passion. So a lot of entrepreneurs, like let's say Elon Musk, Nvidia, they have made a lot of money, right? They are not working for money. Your Bill Gates retired at the age of 50 when he made enough money and everything. What you will do after a certain amount of money? You won't. Yes, you need to have enough money that you can sustain until the retirement. But after certain money, it's giving back to the society. Let other people take charge. Let other people grow. That benefits company as well as you. You can relax and enjoy.
Coming down to the wealth part, at my age, my peers who also started at my age running their own show, they believe in this concept of funding. They've gone to Series C funding. They've taken in a lot of money. And what I've seen now that last couple of months have been really bad. So they've been just burning and eventually I think they will be exiting. Not calling by the name, but a lot of bigger players in the edtech sector also took money. Some decision here or there, bad or good, they were on the verge of bankruptcy. They really picked up. They saved themselves. But the concept of investor funding or people coming and funding you for your operational goals, Do you think it's a viable idea?
I'm not too much into that. I mean, like, I'm not too much into favor of that, taking money for operational expenses. Like, you run a company or you have a cash flow problem and you're taking money to run a company. No. If you want a growth and you need something to expand, but you can take care of operation, you should take that. You get enough bandwidth, you know, to worry of day-to-day operations. But a lot of people with this media hype, getting the money series A, B, C funding has become media hype. There are companies who have never taken a funding. It's still successful. And if you want to take a funding, I'm not against the taking of funding. Even for operational issues, take a loan from the bank. That is weighted. You deserve it, right? And you have to pay back certain things. Anything that you take it from investor, even you don't have to pay back, it's a loan. And whosoever gives you loan will want to recover his money. So taking money for operations is big no, but yes, for growth, you have certain amount of cash flow, you can always think about based on your strategy. For personally, I never took a money and I wanted to run it like an entrepreneur. It's fun and you don't have to listen to anybody. At the same time, we could not grow probably because of that thing. There is thought process, but it's plus and minus. But instead of having money, if you can get a people who can help you to grow to a certain extent, then look at whether you can get a money. That is more. So you need to have a more skill set that who can guide you.
So growth partner.
Yeah, growth partner, strategic growth partner is very, very important.
But again, how do you decide who's right?
Oh, you'll have to interact with him a lot times. Probably you'll interact 5 to 10 times before you decide whether you want to do a strategic growth partner. It's not overnight or you can be a growth partner. No. You need to know, go through the references, what he has done, what is his capabilities, everything.
Talking about numbers, an immediate thought strikes valuation.
Oh, frankly speaking, valuation, I don't know. That's why I may not be interested. But I am the old orthodox guy who likes to have money in the bank.
Cash in bank?
Cash in bank. Don't have to worry about the funding. Don't worry about when the next salary is coming along. Yes, so you need to month, but you need to have enough money that nobody, employee, vendor suffers at your end, payment wise. And we have not done that in 11 years. No, not a single delay from vendors. All our salaries are done on last day of the month, and all our vendor payments done on 5th.
This is ethical.
Ethics has to be part of your business. If you grow a business to a multi-fold, multi-millionaire, billionaire, and without ethics, for me, if you don't get a sound sleep with that following non-ethical approach, that money doesn't have any value. Similar thing, like small companies in our field use a pirated software, illegal software. Correct. Yes, it costs money. You have to cash flow, but it's a small part of. You should treat it as an investment to run a business.
But we Indians, we love free money.
Yes, but you should get a free money, but not at other people's expense or IP.
Do you believe in karma?
To a certain extent. Yes, karma pays back. So a lot of people who helped me during my stage, I know I interacted with a lot of vendors and partners who have worked in my during stage just pure out of friendship. They say that I don't make money out of you, but I like to work with you. I have seen a lot of vendors when they were not capable to do certain sort of work. They said, give me certain work, Yogesh, that I can be part of that project, just to be part of that project. So there should be some karma. And similarly, what you give to the society, it always comes back.
Now, talking about culture, we've seen that PrimaVerse has its own culture. I mean, it's embedded into the systems of people. I walk in at 7, I see someone working. I log out at night 1, 2, and I see someone working.
It's an ownership culture that you have built in. It doesn't mean that we make people work from 7 to 1. But yes, it's an ownership. And once you take the ownership, you will stay until 12 o'clock. You will stay until 1 o'clock. You will do it your own, because if anything goes by your name, you will make sure that it is going at the right quality. And once you commit in the Western world that you will be able to deliver it by Monday, You need to deliver it by Monday, whatever it takes.
It's the ownership that counts. And PrimaVerse, everyone in PrimaVerse has got some sense of ownership.
People have come and gone, but nobody has. It has not happened that they have not taken the ownership when they have given. That's why we can grow to 93 people, 100 people right now. It's a ownership, otherwise you cannot. And that's a startup culture that I see. Fingers crossed, even once we are planning to go to 200, 400 employees soon, maybe in next 3 years, this culture remains. Because when it was 2040, we could do that. I could personally see that it is monitored, it is done, people do that. But frankly speaking, 200, 400 people, so 300 people coming over as a new office to the 2 years, which is 75% of the people will be new. They will have different cultures, so we need to see that it is adopted. It's a challenge of growth, which we will see how it fares to be.
So in this term, I think we are adopting technology to the fullest. I have personally seen you working certain AI functions for AutoCAD. So how do you plan to adopt AI into this? Because civil engineering is probably the last segment where you can embed automation.
Yes, but if I don't start work, my computer will start working first thing. And eventually, AutoCAD, these other software companies will build AI into it.
Correct.
And that's the need of the hour. Let's not run away from that. So you will see a lot of AI development, lot of work getting automated over the next 5 years or so. Yes, civil engineering will be the last because you need a lot of site data, actual data, physical data, and other things. But yes, it will come. It's still getting automated over time, but it will. There is no choice because there are not enough people who can work. So you need to depend on the automation that you can do.
So what do you think about skills? We've been running a survey, and while 89% of our graduates are skilled, only 19% are skilled enough to work.
That numbers in yes and no, it depends on the education quality, that person's attitude, a lot of factors. But let's believe that whenever you hire someone, you will need to put in 3 months of effort to get it paid. You won't get anybody ready-made, even if you hire it from any other company as well. Only that 3 months can reduce to 45 days.
All of this put together, there is a legacy that we are running into. In about 5 years, it's going to become a name of every household. The kind of activities we are planning, it's going to blow big, not just go big. And at some point, as you said, that you want to take this retirement. Jokes apart.
Okay.
But taking the retirement, working for PrimaVerse, and with PrimaVerse, there's going to be a difference. There has to be a legacy that has to be driven. What do you think PrimaVerse will adopt as a legacy?
No, so we are in the phase of building second set of leaders already. So that's not a problem. People will take it further, and one person doesn't run the company for sure. But like, if I decide to leave tomorrow, which I won't because nobody takes me for another job right now. But if I decide to go, there will be a trouble for 3 to 6 months, but company will survive. Any company will survive. It doesn't matter. You saw recently, right? Starbucks fired a CEO.
Indeed. Not just Starbucks. I think there's also an automation company that fired its CEO.
Yeah, and the new CEO comes in. So it's part of. So the biggest conglomerate in India, Tata, just fired a chairman.
GPTW fired.
Yes. So the person with a great place to work, their CEO was fired. So it doesn't depend on person. The OpenAI company CEO was fired in overnight. Twitter CEO was fired. So there are a lot of things that happens, but it never depends on a single person. You can always company stands way above the employees, any employees. Founders have put in their efforts for sure, and they should be rewarded for that because they take the biggest risk of their life compared to any employees. But companies should survive on that side. Now nobody listens to the name of Michael Dell because Dell company is bigger than the founder as a company, as a founder. Or even now you ask a new generation who is the founders of Google, they'll tell you Sundar Pichai. Because they have gone into the thing that they have passed on as a company, as a legacy.
That's a brilliant take on this. Do you believe that personal branding is somewhat better than organizational branding?
In the early stages, yes, because founders brand helps the company to grow. But after a certain thing, company branding should take over the founders branding. Because by the time if company grows, founders brand is already created.
That makes a lot of sense. In some years, let's say in about a year or two, or three, or five, there are so many unknown factors driving a lot of things. Do you think PrimaVerse will get impacted?
Very few people can predict the future. Nobody predicted 2008-9 until 2007-8. Nobody predicted COVID. But it might get impacted, and that's a part of business cycle. But we will come up now. Once you have survived for 10, 11 years, it is difficult to go down drastic. We might go down 10%, which is okay. Hopefully, it doesn't happen before my goal is completed. And that's important. So we need to keep a buffer to grow accordingly.
I've heard you going to tier 3 and tier 2 cities. There are raw talents in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and they've never probably got an opportunity to come out of that. Why are you so serious about this topic of going
So
there?
it's an inspiration from a company founder in a company called Zoho. He built his company out of tier 3. Whether it will work to our industry, never know. But if it is work for $1 billion revenue company, self-funded, Zoho, we are much smaller than that. It's worth the risk. So it's again taking a risk, calculated risk. And if it works out, nothing like it, that people who don't have to migrate from their original home place, where their home is, for a migration to the city to get the job. It's very easy.
So founders have the highest risk appetite, and I can see it in your conversation that you are a risk taker.
After the last 5 years, I am probably.
How do you become such a risk taker? Is it
So think it from the simple point of view. So mainly the risk with business comes with money. Reputation really doesn't matter. No one cares about where you failed or not, or whether you did right or not. Apart from your close ones to do that. But frankly speaking, you should take a risk which you can digest. But a lot of people are less risk taker, and I want people to be more and more risk taker. In the sense, not everybody should take risk with the projects and other things, but little bit of ownership, and things will follow. Yes.
how much stress or importance do you put on learning?
Well, you need to be a continuous learner in whatever field. May not be technical, maybe management, maybe other thing. Otherwise, you won't go in life. If you're in IT, better learn. I wish you all the best. You have to update every 3 years.
Now I think it's going to be a little faster with
I
AI
think
coming in.
Yeah. You don't need to learn AI. You need to learn AI, how to use AI, probably. Best way possible.
A lot of mass layoffs going on. Is it because AI has also come into the picture?
One is AI, one is capability. Other thing is a lot of people overhired during the COVID thing.
So it's correction.
Salaries were hit through the roof in 21-22, which was not realistic. So everything is falling in place with the correction, and then it's just part of cycle in business. So sometimes, as I said earlier, it was employees market, now it's employers market.
Mr. Robert Kosky said that a big recession is coming.
He might be correct because he's a financial expert and he's invested in blah blah things. But if you keep doing the good thing, you will get the jobs as well. Because all the people need all the companies need good people. If you keep doing the good work, companies as a vendors, they will need you for sure.
But you have seen a recession. You've seen 2008 and 9.
Oh yeah, it was worse, but we survived through it. Luckily, that company, but a lot of companies wiped out because of the bad planning and overthinking. And it was that sort of recession may not come. We might go down 10-20%. And he's saying that recession might come. Do you think there is no recession right now? Exclude the stock market, exclude the IT, then so-called Nvidia AI, boom, you're in the recession.
You've seen the market. So you've traveled, you've seen the market.
Oh yeah, there is a recession. Let's not accept that. Technically, we are not into recession by 3 quarters, so it will be negative growth and blah blah. But there is a negative. If salaries are not increased, people are getting laid off. This is sort of a recession. It is expected.
How much time do you think this is going to continue? What is the cycle?
I think it will be, my gut feeling is, again, I'm not an astrologer, but probably until 25 years.
That's again a year.
No, at least a year to stabilize. You have seen a continuous growth for about 10, 12 to 15 years.
So it's correction again.
So give it a year to settle down.
So looking forward to this, looking forward about everything that we've spoken, what excites you ahead?
As of now, all thoughts and everything is with PrimaVerse. So PrimaVerse right now is in engineering services outsourcing, but we wanted to become a solution outsourcing company. It can be a form of digital marketing that we recently started. Then we need to have another thing that we're starting with IT. So all these adds up, you add up as a different verticals, you spread out across different geographies. That should take care of some recession part as well. And you get to interact with different people.
So we are diversifying.
Diversifying geography-wise, domain-wise. And I love meeting people. That's my most happiest thing. You meet, you interact, you learn from the people, lessons.
I was talking to some people with PrimaVerse who've been there for about 5 years now. Limraj has been there. So he has seen all those times where we had seen about 81% attrition. That was bad, he said.
Yeah, 21, 22.
But then we picked up really well.
Yes, we were not prepared mentally. That was the main reason. You get that attrition. And frankly speaking, we should work on a more organized way. There is some lacuna in what we work. We work more efficiently. I should not share these, but we work on a zero bench strength, which is a very tough thing, putting up the people and other things. So, but yes, we need to build a bench strength to grow. Some of the strategies are there. We'll learn, but so far so good.
What next?
So next, again, I said it's PrimaVerse to the next level.
5 years, 5 times.
5 times in, now it's not 5, it's 3.5.
1.5 years in 5
So
times.
1.5 year is gone. My goal remains same, timeline reduces. It's challenging. Hopefully we should be there.
So there are so many different functions of a business. There's marketing, there's sales, there's operations. If one falls, I think the entire thing collapses.
It's not. It never completely falls. You need to predict what's going wrong and fix it over time. Never falls.
So hyperscaling is needed.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense. All right, Yogesh, you have a
Yeah.
footnote that you would want to tell people.
Not a footnote, but whatever you do, you need to put it a hard work at every stage of life. Professional and personal life is your choice, but professional life, without hard work, there is no success. And just don't look at the success of the people that is never built overnight. They say Rome is never built in a day. A similar thing, companies are not built in a day. So work harder, work with ethics, and everything should take care fine.
And have a mentor.
Mentor is a choice, whether you need it or not. You cannot force it, but there should be someone to bounce off, someone to show you when you are in negative state or any depression. Somebody should say, and somebody should have you can go and talk to freely with. And that mentor should also open up. If mentor looks it as a professional thing, then it doesn't work out. So in short, you should work with the people whom you know, whom you like, and whom you trust.
And that was the first statement when I first met you.
Otherwise, I don't work. What's the fun if you are not liking either of the things? And trust plays very important. Very, very, the first thing, trust.
In your last town hall, you did say that you work completely on trust.
Oh,
I think that's why we have never seen cameras operating. I mean, that's there, but just for security purposes.
Yeah, anything happens and is a requirement. But if you cannot manage 100 people company without a trust, just don't run the company.
I see.
Trust is very important. When you build that culture, so that's what our reliability and accountability works for. Cool.
All right, Yogesh.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.